You need to send a nude naked picture sometimes, yeah. Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. This is JM and Andreas, and today we're talking about long distance relationship, and we're gonna give you 5 tips how to survive.
For those of you who have seen our boyfriend tag video, you will know that we actually were long distance for a while. How long? 3 months?
4.5 months.
As you can see, we actually long distance right now. And yeah, so he's been there for a month visiting his family. And yeah, since we have a little bit of experience about how it is to have a relationship long distance, we thought we'd share our tips. Tip number 1, take it away.
Okay, so tip number 1 is what we did a few times when you left me 4.5 months. And
Okay, wait. I've not said I always interrupt you. However, let's not make this into a passive-aggressive video call. For clarification, I have never left Andreas. If anything, he has left me now.
JM went to London 4.5 months before me, left me while there was a global pandemic. No one knew what was gonna happen. I was in Denmark and I couldn't do anything. I left for 3 weeks, which turned into 5 weeks, to go to Denmark to see my family that I haven't seen for 11 months. But yeah, it's the thing. Okay. So first tip is that you can watch Netflix together over FaceTime.
Yeah, for sure. I think try to find activities that you can do far away to make it seem like you're together is the key. The one that we would suggest is obviously Netflix. So there are browser extensions that you can use to basically sync your 2 Netflix account and watch the same movie at the same time while also being on video call.
Yeah, and I actually think, it is actually working really well. It is really cozy. You are by yourself, but you can talk throughout the movie. There were a few times where you cut me off midway and said like, oh, I lost connection. And then you later admitted that it's just because you didn't want to watch the movie with me. But except from that, it was very nice.
First of all, that has never happened. If anything, I fell asleep. Yeah, that happened. I get really tired. I fall asleep watching movies, whether we're together or not together.
Okay, so tip number 2.
Okay, so tip number 2 is definitely to keep a constant communication with each other. So this is something that we try to do straight away. Obviously, our main form of communicating has been through texts. So we have tried to message basically from very early in the morning till very late in the evening, and constantly update each other on what's happening into the other person's life. Of course, I feel like when you first start, you go to like an extreme, and then as time goes on, that sort of decreases. I think that's totally normal. I don't think there's ever been any day where we actually haven't spoken.
No, I don't think so either. I think we're quite good at it, but as I do remember, I also think I kind of forced you to it, or I said when you left me, I said we have to speak every day, and I actually think I also said we have to call every day, didn't I? I think I did for sure, because I was the one that was most, emotionally upset, and since I am a greedy bottom, that's what I wanted, so,
Right. No, to be fair, I think I'm better than you at this, is to not only sharing See, let's not argue over FaceTime or anything, but I think I'm better at sharing what I'm doing because I like to send pictures and videos and everything, while you have had to learn to take pictures and send videos.
Yeah, I will say that is 100% true. But I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it. Right?
You're working on it. Let's just stop.
Now I was gonna say that someone's not gonna have tonight, but obviously you aren't because I'm not there. But yeah, my parents can hear everything, so that's why I'm.
Yeah, Andreas is at his parents' house. Oh.
I am. Yeah. Moving on.
Tip number 3.
So tip number 3 is that you should send, now and then, you should send a picture to each other. And when I say a picture, I think we all know what kind of picture I mean. And and it's kind of, like when you're staying away from each other for a long time, of course, you are missing the emotional, intellectual, whatever connection, but you're also missing something else. And, just to keep that vibe, energy, attraction going, then you need to send a nude naked picture sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely have a massive archive of stored images that Andreas has now sent me over the times. But I do think there is a difference from last time and this time.
Yeah.
And
I haven't.
feel like you haven't.
I haven't done it this time, have I?
But yeah, for sure. I think, especially if you don't know when you're gonna meet again, you really have to try and keep the flame going.
I think so too. And also, if you don't, then your partner's just gonna go out and someone else. So.
I mean, not necessarily, to be honest, but it could happen. And this is another point that we have. It's tip number 4. I definitely feel like trust is extremely important when you're doing long distance, because you're not seeing the other person often, you're not there all the time. The other person could lie to you if they wanted to, you would never know. But if you don't trust them, then it's going to be an awful experience for you, because you're going to be worrying all the time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bad experience for yourself, but also for your partner, because then how you text them, what you say, what you ask, what you expect would also, change and depend on your trust. Yeah, you have to trust, because if something happens, something happens.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're together for a reason.
And I will say, also you have never given me a reason not to, but I did trust 100%. In that sense, it made it easy. But I will say, I hate long distance relationship. It's never gonna happen again. Nope.
I don't think we've ever spent June together, ever. Each other for 2 years. Well,
tip number 5. It's a little bit corny, so I'm gonna let you say it.
I think it's very important to allow the other person to have the personal space. What I mean by that is, of course, by being long distance, there is going to be some times where the other person might be too busy to text back, or the other person might change plan all of a sudden and do something spontaneously without telling you in advance. So I think you should not stress about that too much. You should, allow the other person to experience life where they are. I think it's important to share what you're doing to the other person because you want to, not because you feel like you have to.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, it was really easy for me, because you never really replied to me anyway. So for me, it wasn't really a change whether or not you were doing something. But I think it was more difficult for you because you would always I hate you now, I never talk to you again, you forgot about me, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, so good advice.
The thing about everything that you've been saying in all of our videos, about 80% of it, none of it is true. So,
but it's funny.
It is, but basically between us, the needy one is Andreas. It's not me. He tries to be cold and cool. I don't like saying I love you, but realistically,
don't even go there. So yeah, we would also like to know if you're in a long distance relationship, what do you think is the hardest thing? And do you have any tips? You could definitely use some tips, or James could use some tips, to be better. So
thank you so much for watching. We have more videos. You can subscribe and like. And then next week, we'll be reunited together. So, yeah.
Yay! Bye.
Bye.